Hello, everyone. This is Matias. I'm starting a series of monologues that I hope to one day turn into a actual podcast where I do interviews and I have talks. One thing I really like doing is talking to people and working through ideas in my own mind. This will be my first episode, I guess, of the Miles Matias. I don't like the word show, but just we'll call it a series of talks for now until I get people on here. A topic I want to talk about, something I've been thinking a lot about, is I currently run four businesses. And one thing I do a lot of is, you're going to think this is crazy, actually play video games. This is the Nintendo DS Lite. I'm currently playing through Pokemon Platinum, and I got Leaf Green. I have a 3DS where I'm playing through Heart Gold. I have a PS3 where I'm playing through Prince of Persia. I just beat Sands of Time. I'm playing Warrior Within. And I have a gaming laptop that I beat Halo Infinite. I beat the campaign mode, and I did everything in an open world map. So one thing that I have noticed is I've always had gaming be a part of my life, but I've never let it get to a point where that's all I do. I'm still able to function in life without having games completely take it over, which I think is important. A lot of people struggle with addictions to different things. I would say I I have somewhat of an addiction to games, but I don't let it get to a point where I don't do my work. So my priority every day is getting up, working, and games later. So I currently run the credit card business with 3 employees, and they handle everything. I'm just an operator of it. I do FBM and FBA on Amazon. I do Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops. I have about I have one marketplace and 6 shops running. So sales are constantly happening, order processing is taking place. I'm just operating and managing the business. And then I have a YouTube channel where I work with the channel manager who hires out creation, posting, basically everything takes care of that. So I have a lot on my plate, but I find myself, and I'm also in school full time. Up in January of 2022, I took college algebra. That was 4 weeks. Pretty much every single day I was doing math homework. And the semester started in February, and I'm taking business calculus. On April 2nd of 2022, I start accounting 102, a managerial accounting. I actually have completely transitioned to do my own books because it's so super, super easy. I've learned how to read the chart of accounts on QuickBook. I've learned how to categorize. I've learned how to generate my profit and loss statement. I've learned how to check my chart of accounts to make sure each individual account is correct using the bank statements. So books has been something very easy. I only use banks that will automatically put transactions into the book. So it makes, and I'm able to create rules within QuickBooks that automates everything. But I've been doing a lot of thinking on video games, and I was having a conversation with my friends where we're talking about gaming because we're both successful in business, but we both also play video games. And I was just thinking, a lot of people tend to look down on people that play video games. I think maybe that's not true, but I've always had it a part of my life since I was about 5 years old. I've I'm on and off with video games, so a few things I rotate through is I rotate one through consoles. Like there'll be a season where I love get the gaming computer. I like Oblivion. I like games that require me to think. I don't like games that are too linear. A game like Halo is a game that I can't really play too long because it's too straightforward. If I'm not doing puzzles or some intense type of thinking in a game, I generally don't really care for it. One of the things I love about Pokemon is just how strategic you have to be to beat the game. Because certain Pokemon can go up against certain Pokemon, so you're limited to 6 Pokemon in your team, and you have to strategically pick out who your team will be, the amount of moves they can learn, if the moves they learn can combat some of the other Pokemon you'll fight with different types, and if you can successfully eventually beat the Elite Four and the champion, and just get to the game. I rotate through video games, consoles. Work has always been a constant. I'm always focused on credit repair. I'm always focused on building my referral basis, my lenders, my realtors, consultants, whatever. FBM, FBA. I'm constantly in communication with my team. I get up in the morning to communicate. That is what I do. And then I feel myself somewhat transitioning out of the gaming phase because I usually do 3 to 6 months on and then off. And now I'm into the book stage. So I try to read my Bible every day. Doesn't always work out. I'm reading a book. Ty Lopez actually recommended this book. It's called Made in America by Sam Walton. This guy created Walmart. His stories are just incredible. And he has managers, early managers of Walmart, his kids commenting, and some of them are actually negative towards him. But he did that on purpose because it's part of his biography. He wrote this when he had cancer. He knew he didn't have a lot of time left on the earth. So it's a little book. I got it on eBay for like $3. I always buy all my books used. I see the point of buying new books. It's about 330 pages. I am 228 pages into it. I'm actually reading through C.S. Lewis' Chronicles of Narnia. One thing I'm trying to do is I've noticed with video games, I'm thrusted into video games. That might be not the right word. Let me just think. I am what into video games? I'm interested in video games because it puts me in a position where I can exist into another world. I like playing a game called RuneScape very seasonally. Probably once a year, I'll play it for 3, 4 months every single year since I was like 9 years old. I have a very established character. I've made videos on the game. I have a level 99 skill in the game. I'm passionate about it, but just I'm rotating between different games, and it's very very seasonal. That game taught me actually how to read a map when I was about 10 years old. I didn't know how to read a map. That game taught me how to plan out like my future in the sense of in the game, you do quests, you save money, you have goals, you attain items, you build your own house. There's a number of different things you do that are very time consuming, and it allowed me to in this world create, which I felt was very important for me. Another thing I like to do is when I'm reading, I like I generally like reading books that are geared, like I like The Intelligent Investor, for instance, security analysis, a little more heady books. I like books on psychology. I'm always listening to books on psychology. I like Dr. David Buss. A book I recently listened to is Why Women Have Sex, and it goes into um, just the woman's mindset just throughout history and why they will attract certain men to them and all that stuff. So books that are informative in that way. I'm constantly talking my wife's ear off about everything I'm learning. Another thing I'm trying to get into is I don't really know the word if it's novels, fiction. Well, since I'm on the computer, I'll look up. I don't even know the difference as I'm talking between fiction and nonfiction. I know one pertains to what's real and one pertains to what's not. Fiction definition: literature in the form of prose, especially short stories and novels. They describe imaginary events. So I read a lot of nonfiction. I love history books, things of that nature. I love listening to books. I love going on walks or to the gym and just I don't listen to music. Generally, I don't listen to music. I listen to books. And so I'm reading The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis. I actually have the all of his books. So I'm trying to get into fiction. I'm trying to read books that put me into a world of something new. Because these authors like C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, I believe it is, who wrote The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, the Aragon Aldous, Brisinger, that series. I like these books that one person created another world. I think that's very important because in business, I feel like everything I do is so different because all my businesses make money and put money in my pocket. I reinvest in the stock market. I save up for real estate, different things. And then I have business reinvest back into business. In my Facebook business, in marketplace and shops, and doing fulfilled by merchant with that. I I'm constantly reinvesting into that. I'm buying business managers. I'm doing ads. I'm growing pages. I'm growing shops. I'm growing catalogs. I'm doing a number of different things. So I feel like there's an intense level of creativity in everything I do, even though I personally feel like I'm not creative. I don't feel like I'm that smart. I just feel like the only difference between me and the next person is that I'm just not afraid. I have no problem just taking a step. And I think that's such an important thing because a lot of people in my own life, especially like close friends of mine, they can't do what I do even though I want them to do it. It's like leading the horse to water and asking them to drink and they won't drink. I've done that with many people and they don't have the stomach. They're just too afraid. Their wife is too controlling. They can't grab their cojones and just do it. I've I have some men in my life that are doing this, and I have women in my life that are doing this as well. So I feel like I never know who's really going to take off. I know I'm doing well as an entrepreneur. I always talk to people that work jobs who say they want to be entrepreneurs, but they're still pursuing a career, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, but it's always a what if. For me, being an entrepreneur, I worked at a hospital 60 hours a week, working as a nursing assistant at a local hospital. I was good at my job. I just wasn't really good in the politics and dealing with people in that aspect. In the hospitals, it just wasn't an environment for me. I function a lot better in this entrepreneurial world where I have a lot of control over what I do. I did learn, I had a great boss, so I feel like I learned what that looked like. And I think I credit a lot of that to how I treat my employees. Because I'm a very good boss. I give them time off, paid sick days. I give them pretty much everything but medical insurance because I can't do that. um, but yes, this will be uh, a short series of monologues or a very long series of monologues. I don't know. But I would just like if you would just keep hearing my thoughts. If you're someone that has a following, influence in your circle, hit me up and let's talk. We'll talk about a number of different ideas. So thank you for watching.